Yes, I did.
All right, do I have a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the October 16, 2018 minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, minutes approved. Down to new business, Christmas tree lighting, Veterans Park.
Okay, basically, I don't know if everybody's seen this, but Janet put something out there for the community tree lighting program, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
Liza and Janet have done extremely a lot of work and a lot of running around, a lot of lining things up, get things accomplished, and I'll kind of go through a few things, and then I'll have Chuck talk a little bit about it, because I think Janet gave you some
I got it up
information.
there, yeah.
Okay?
Awesome.
So go ahead, Chuck, if you want to go ahead.
Oh, okay, she's got, the mayor is gonna be there, our pastor, Jake,
At the Methodist
Hanson's
Church?
gonna be from the Methodist Church, is gonna be there, the KM
Awesome.
Band is gonna be there, police is gonna be there, Toys for Tots. They're gonna be collecting toys. And, it says here, Liza has group putting lights on, and there's flyers have been passed out all over. And, you know, churches, schools, so she's letting almost everybody in the community know what's going on. And, that's about it. So.
Was she able to get
let's go.
anything in the paper?
She said she was gonna try.
Okay, because if not, I would totally use my spot that I have in there for just to advertise. I think it's neat, it's cool.
Yep.
Get everybody out, and the group that's doing the, or stringing the lights, they're called, Fellow Christian Athletes, and it was just started this year, and anyway, Mr. Wietenbach, Pete Wietenbach, he kinda started it, and Mr. Bueller, I believe, just all high school students down to 7th grade, and they get together like once a week or once every other week, but this is a good community project that they're like, yes, we'll do it. So,
So it sounds like
hopefully
it's
it
gonna
lights
be
up for them.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna be a pretty big thing, so
Yeah.
hopefully the weather cooperates and.
I hope so.
So that's next
Goes
Friday
good.
night,
Yep.
6:30 up to the gazebo.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
We will, I told Liza, and I did tell, I told you, Liza, basically. We'll have the tree, we're gonna pick the tree up. I ordered an 8-foot tree at Houston's. We'll pick it up on Monday, the 26th, it's coming Monday. Set it in our shop and water it for about 2-3 days and let the things, branches drop down, because they're in a net, of course. And then, we'll get it out there on Thursday, pretty much Thursday afternoon, and then Friday, morning, or wherever they come, whenever they want to do it on Friday, it should be good. We'll line up the timer, and we'll have the extension cord and have the gazebo lights off, so when it does light up on Friday night, that will stay good. So, because them lights underneath there, remember, they're all on a not a timer, but they're kind of like a solar type thing. When it gets dark, the lights will stay on. When they come on, it's going to be opposite. You won't have any lights on there, so it's going to be kind of dark around there a little bit.
Right.
So, now there might be a switch to override that, so you can at least get some lights there for the ceremony. Or we'll unlock, what we might want to do is we might want to unlock the shelter there and light up the shelter. Have it give enough light, whatever, for it.
Especially if there's elderly people up there. And
Yeah,
so
and
they
bands
can-
and stuff like that, so they
Yeah.
can kind of see stuff, so I'll unlock that just to let you guys know that.
Okay.
I won't be there, it's like Earth Day, I'll be
Woo-hoo!
gone, but, I'll have the guys unlock the picnic shelter, and you can hit the lights
Okay.
on the picnic shelter, and that kind of lights that area up pretty good,
Okay,
okay?
I'll do that.
So I'll make a note, and I'll make sure that, Chris and Cole, you guys unlock that, picnic shelter lights for Friday on the 30th, okay?
Okay.
And then it's easy for you guys for the ceremony, just to go turn the lights off at the picnic shelter and have it, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay. That sounds good. All right, down to 2018 Aquatic Center financials.
As you guys got the form here on our aquatic center, this is kind of the final there's maybe a couple here and there little things, but as far as the expenditures and the assets, whatever, are both pretty much, as you can see. Remember, just to kind of show you, 2017 to 2016, our big, because of the electricity. We had made 2,200, we didn't have that, that electricity thing was read wrong. So when you come down to it, we pretty much lost just about another $6,000 from last year to this year. As you can see, we gained almost $10,500 in assets, 244 from 234, but the expenses went up. And the reason why the expenses went up is that we had to do them grades. Okay, they were not budgeted, and it cost us a lot of money to do the grades around the pool, to fix the slide, and put the slide thing in and all that stuff, which cost us around $15,000. So that was one of the reasons why under supplies, if you go down there and that stuff, supplies was expensive. We had $24,000 this year, as you can see that in supplies, and the year before we had $12,000. So we had another $12,000 more in supplies, repairs and maintenance supplies, to do things.
It's like payroll went up as well, right?
Yeah.
Payroll went up too. The reason why is because we had more hours. We had better weather. We sent people home last year. Start looking at total hours compared to how many total hours were worked up here this year with the amount of people. Now, we had, our days were open, there was kids there, but we had 4 kids there instead of 11 kids there. So when the weather got bad under 60, 65, it's an automatic, we send them home. We used to not do that, we used to kind of keep a full staff on. So this year, we had great weather. We didn't send too many people home. It was a full staff. So you're gonna get that once in a while. Plus, remember, we had to go up with the wage. We had to go up the wage, remember, that was an increase in.
Yeah, but look at, in the better weather, you saved 11,000 on utilities.
Exactly, exactly.
So, that about,
Evens it out.
there, yeah.
The sun shines, warms up the pool,
Right.
It kind of helps and works with us,
Yeah.
So basically, that's kind of how it all works. That's a valid, good point, Doug. So, that's kind of the numbers out there. You can see that, utilities actually, like you said, went down, which Doug pointed out, which was really good. And everything else pretty much stayed the same except for the wages and the supplies. This year coming up, just to let everybody know, we're gonna have 2 items that we got expense to coming up in 19, which will be all the drains at $325 apiece. We got 18 of them, and then we got to do the sand filters and change the sand filters, which I think an estimate around $8,000 to do that. So we're going to look at about another $12,000 to $15,000 probably for extra maintenance supplies. Everything else looks good. All the grates, we got a little extra grates. Everything else, the basins, everything else should be in great shape. We already got our umbrellas down, got them fixed again, got them set back already. We only had 2 umbrellas that they had to fix, which was great, the big, canvas umbrellas, and that only cost us about $400 or $500, so that was good. So we're in good shape there. Of course, we don't have to buy the freezer like we did last year. All the equipment inside runs, so.
Weren't you having trouble with some chairs weathering on you or something too? How are
Yes.
they doing?
No, we got rid of probably, I think, probably around 10 to 12 of them. We are down probably around 20 total chairs in the last 2 years. They're about 144 apiece. Now, I always kind of look at what I'm looking at for total. What do I got to spend? The grates. Not the grates, but the drains and the sand. I already kind of have a great idea what that's going to cost. So if I do have some money, I might buy 10 chairs.
Yeah, like half of 1,400.
Yeah, buy something back so at least we can replace it. Because when we get people there, people got to sit and they got to sit down. I mean, they can't stand. We got to have chairs there. And but they're about $144 a piece. Them white recliners. I do know that. So I'll take a look at that and maybe replace maybe 10 of them for sure. But when you come down to it, you look over on the far right, it actually is how many things, we sold. We sold 22,762 passes, daily passes. We're up over about 22,000 passes more than last year, daily passes. But when you look at the other things, you look down at passes non-residents, and then you look at the family passes. We were down on, if you go up to the you see that 169, and you compare, we had 173 last year. Real close, we had more actually sold of single early bird ones than previous year. We had more of the single, of the family, and then we had single early birds, we had more of them. But we were down non-residents. We were down 12, down 5, even, and we're up. What people are finding out, especially the non-residents, and we knew this was gonna happen, they're gonna figure out and say it's probably cheaper or better for us to buy single daily passes. And I think that's why it went up. They're figuring out to buy a book.
Same people did something different.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yeah, I
Basically,
heard that
that's
a
what
lot.
they're doing. So, that's kind of the numbers there as far as, the passes and, the individuals, so. So I think overall, we're pretty much the same as far as taking the money in. We haven't really hurt ourselves too bad, as you can look at the numbers since 2014. But as you can see, our expenses have went up. Give or take on 14, that was a lot of startup stuff that we had to buy on the 285. But as you can see, it went to 250, and it dropped down to 248, but then it went to 278, and now it's up to 295. I don't anticipate it, I hopefully don't anticipate it to go much more higher, but then again, I can't predict if we're gonna have great weather, can't predict if the supplies or the chlorine's gonna go up, can't supply what the, I just don't know.
We talked some on your concessions there, you went up a little on them this year, didn't you?
Yep, we did. Yep, we did. And, if you look at the concession,
You're up a little bit on the concession.
we're up on the concession, we were up about, 3,500 probably, 3,400.
Is that in your retail sales?
That's up
That's
here.
not cost.
That's up here. We took in.
Oh, way on top, I got you, yeah.
Took in 45, and then the cost
It's 27.
is 27, 28. So we made money, we made more money. And that was a good point, Doug. I mean, we had a little bit more higher. We, instead of selling a bottle of pop for $1.50 or $1.75, we went to $2. And people still bought it.
Yeah.
We went, that was not even a big deal. It was like, no problem.
Probably easier to just hand $2 over instead of
Exactly.
getting changed.
Yeah.
When I go to Quick Trip, it's $1.89 or $1.99.
Yeah.
$1.99 on the bottles.
And I'm at $1.79, and I just raised my price 10 cents here 2 months ago, realizing I should do more expensive than.
Your bottle machine up to the park there, though, still a buck, ain't it, or wasn't it?
It's still $1.50. They gotta come in, they gotta redo that. Yeah, I got full of Pepsi. I was gonna do it last year, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it, and, cause they just got us new machines, so they just dropped them off, they left it at $1.50, so I'm gonna have them go up to $2 next year in the park. So it's all.
Well, that makes sense, it's there for convenience, not for profit, so.
Yeah. So, I guess, any questions, anything else, you see anything on the numbers, I can maybe hopefully, answer anything. I just wanted to point out some of them things. As you can see, our, pool chemicals is something always to look at.
What do you have in the miscellaneous?
Miscellaneous is stuff like reimbursements for lifeguards, for lifeguard training stuff. Let's see, what else do we have in there? We have, yeah, Yeah, we have other charges in there that to be honest with you, I don't know how Jan could have answered that question. I don't know, she puts it in them.
Okay.
But that's kinda, I do know that for reimbursements of all the lifeguard training, when we have classes for swim lessons where our instructors get paid, that comes out of there. And I'm sure there's some other pretty good expenses that come out of there that she puts in there for other services. We don't have a lot of people coming and working on the pool. We pretty much do all of our pool work. So, to let you know on that part. So, but we could, Jason, we could get a breakdown. I could have Jan break it down the next
I'm
month.
just curious what,
Yeah.
I mean, miscellaneous is.
Miscellaneous, you know,
Right.
what is in there, you know.
So, the other thing is, your guys' hours as far as working on the pool, what are we looking at there?
Yeah, there was a little bit more time as far as working on the pool, as far as our guys' wages. As you can see, we budget $5,000 in overtime for that. Things when we go up there and do, like, in case someone does something in the pool, pees or poops in the pool, we gotta go up there and redo all of the chemicals and stuff. This year, we only had 3 incidents of that happening, compared to 12 the year before. But you can notice that we had a little more overtime. What had happened at the beginning of the year, I don't know if I mentioned that to you, but we had that pipe that broke in the wall, remember? Down in the basin part, you know, the main big suction, and we had to drill out cement. Took us, that one night, I think, and it was leaking water. Charlie came to help and whatever, and Chris and Corey were there. I mean, they were there, I think, almost till midnight that night, from 3:30 to midnight, just to get the thing fixed. We had to turn all the water off, and we had to go get down to Rochester and get supplies, and then the supplies that we got from Rochester didn't work. We had to go back to Rochester, and we finally got it fixed. But, we fixed it ourselves. Tried to get Superior Plumbing up here, but nobody was around to help fix it, so we just took on the job ourselves. You know, that incident like that costs money. I mean, it really does, because you got the overtime and stuff. And then, again, the other reason, remember we went on call pay.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Yep, on call pay. Corey and Chris got to be on call, through the union contract, that one person through the weekend, or through the week, Tuesday through Sunday, whatever, gets on call at straight time. They get like 11 hours, I think it is, for the week to be on call. I think that's total, I think that's how it works, 11 hours. So they get straight time, they don't get time and a half, they just get their straight time wages for their 11 hours.
Now, how does that, I know another department there where they always take a day off for that. How does theirs work?
What they do is whatever, that's the wastewater plant.
Yeah,
That all changed and stuff.
That's the weekend, and then they just take a day off instead of
Then
getting any pay on it.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the same way with, like, me and Jan for this meeting. We don't get paid time and a half or whatever, we just take hours off for this week to come to the meeting. It's just certain things, that's how it's all worked out and whatever.
So that on-call was figured into the payroll?
Yes, yep. So, other than that, you see anything else or anything else, you guys?
What do we plan on doing for, pass fees,
That was coming up next.
that's gonna be,
Yeah.
when you see a drop in the
But you can't.
family passes and.
We absolutely can't. We're gonna price ourselves right out of business. Cause I went and checked with a lot of different other towns, I don't got the information, but we can't keep on adding money to our passes.
So then if you add 50 cents to a bottle of pop.
The only thing that we can add is
That's
$5,
where you add it.
the way I look at it, but I'll talk about this next, but is $5 on swim lessons. We've been at $40 for Red Cross swim lessons for 5 years, we haven't raised it. So, kids taking swim lessons, we can do that, or, like you said, Greg.
You can make it up in
concessions.
another way,
Another
because
way.
they're gonna spend more on
But
concessions
these
than they are on a
passes-
pool pass,
These passes,
so.
Oh, we've already
Yeah,
talked
we
about
can't, 'cause I heard a lot
not
of
raising
comments.
prices, and
What's that?
we had discussion on, you know, when we did raise it, that was gonna be it for
2 years?
a good, well,
Yeah.
we were
More
talking
than
2 or
that.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I've heard discussions on the cost.
Yeah, yep.
And I don't mean to be that way, I'm not saying, Eric, because you look at these numbers, and I would love to look at this and say, hey, I don't like losing $50,000 on the aquatic center for being open for 3 months. That's a lot of money to lose.
Mhm.
But if we start doing outrageous passing money to make up that $50,000, we're gonna have people come here.
I know.
Our assets or our money coming in is gonna get lower, and we're just gonna have the same expense, because it's still costing to run that pool no matter what anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and here's the deal, we set the precedence, because Stewartville calls me, Byron calls me, St. Charles calls me. They wanna know what we're charging.
Well, just like you called them for how many years?
We used to, yep.
Yeah.
So that's nothing, yeah.
Yep. And we must be doing something right. I don't wanna sit here and brag, but we have been voted the most greatest pool in the last 2 years, you know, around the area. We won the award, you know,
Yeah.
People's Choice for the best area pool. So we are doing some things right, but I'm always worried down the road if Byron ever passes, or Rochester passes an aquatic center, outdoor aquatic center, we may see our numbers going down no matter what because of that, because we do, and I think I mentioned this here a couple months ago, we get a lot of people from Rochester.
Mhm.
A lot of people from Rochester come here. So,
That's why we just hold out on the fees and see what happens in the next few years, to see what, you know, if Byron does, if Rochester gets, then what they gonna charge.
now Pine Island, I think
Monthly.
they're gonna be opening, I think, this spring. They're gonna be
Wow.
trying, they had some, but they don't have, that's not even, they do not have the board, the big slide, and they just got the basic kind of the pool area and a few
Yeah.
little play events. It's gonna be a lot smaller than, I think, what the whole city anticipated, the way I understand from a couple people in Pine Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked, I think Lamplin actually, I think, is doing the groundwork, like Broughton did our groundwork. I think
Yeah.
Lamplin got, the groundwork and stuff, the dig out stuff there in Pine Island. But it's not as big as what we have, of course.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all goes for them. They actually came, you know, this year over here. They had buses from Pine Island come over 2 or 3 times a month. We brought the kids over here because their pool was closed. So
Yeah.
people did
Yeah.
come here from Pine Island. Of course, Mankato came 9 different times, I already said that.
Crazy,
You know, we had a bus from Austin, we had Rochester, and then we got the Byron kids coming all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Maybe we could think something of, sending some flyers to a few of them towns and encouraging a bus deal or something, but I suppose it's hard to say when.
yeah, what's really good about the communities, that's not a bad idea to promote our facility. I think promotion's always great, and we should always look at that.
Mhm.
They have, a lot of their stuff is based on community ed programs, you know, where they set certain days through, their,
Oh, yeah,
when they
yeah,
set
yeah.
their community ed program up, or their guidebook, that, you know, we're gonna go, a bus is gonna leave on a certain time during the summer, and then the
Yeah.
kids just sign up and they go. So what happens is the community ed director from them communities, especially Mankato, they came 9 different times. They called right at the end of the winter, early spring, and said, we're gonna be on this date, we're gonna have this many kids, they're gonna be, so we know when they're coming.
Wow.
So, which is nice.
Yeah,
We
it is.
know, you know, so that helps us out a lot.
Mhm.
Byron usually calls that, school down in Rochester, gives us a call all the time.
Nice.
And, Pine Island actually called Jan and said that the pool was not gonna be open, that they're having reconstruction for a new one, and they told Jan when they were gonna come. So, one thing about it was kinda nice that way, that we knew, you know,
Yeah.
but promoting our pool to other communities, you know, the only way to do it is through the Post Bulletin. Since we get the award, people read the Post Bulletin.
Yeah.
They do. And that'd be the only way we could probably maybe put some stuff out there, you know, and say, you know, once in a while, maybe put an ad out there, you know. That little,
Or just an email to the community eds.
and we could, yeah. That
That's
little
pretty
quarter
cheap.
ad that we had at Post Bulletin was $450.
Yeah, that's,
That's crazy. Yeah,
$450, and that's what that ad was.
that's why I don't advertise there.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
But-
But people see it.
Anything else on here? Any other questions? Okay, sounds good.
All right, we're down to 2019 fee schedule.
And we kinda talked about this here, but, this is kinda the whole, Park and Rec, Aquatic Center, all the stuff that we looked at. 2018 was the things that we, that's in purple, we went up on. Okay? That's what we did last year. So we increased last year. Adult softball member was $275, we went to $300. Non-residents was $200, we went to $210. Prior was $190, it went to $200. Single pass was $90, we went to $95. Prior prior was $80 to $85, so we went up $5 on that. Daily fees, the 20 pass, we're at $85, we went to $90. Tiny Tots, whatever, it was $20 per participant, we're at, I think, $10 or something for this, or so, or we went to 20 and then we had a $2, remember we used to charge them per time they came, and we went to just a $20
Flat fee.
flat fee.
That worked pretty good, huh?
did you notice a change in that then?
I think that worked out better. I think people, yeah, they did. I think it worked out a lot better. I think people seen that, well, they could go to Tiny Tot lessons for $20, and, I think that worked out pretty good. I don't know on the numbers on that. I don't know if Jan's got that on there. I think she's just got the classes. Yeah. So I don't really know basically about how it all worked for the best, but,
Could have been classes and camps.
yeah.
How'd the adult softball,
That's one
we have
No.
more teams this year because of Hayfield or no?
No. We actually ended up having one or two less teams in co-ed, and I'll be surprised if we end up having a co-ed league pretty soon on Friday nights. The men's league was down 2 teams instead of having, I think we had 14 teams instead of having 16 teams. We had a 7-and-7 division. So, we had 4 co-ed teams instead of 5 or 6 like we had. So we were down.
That wasn't because of the increase, was it?
No, not because of the increase, just people not wanting to play and, yeah. Well, the KM nursery group, they finally said no more, they hadn't won games for years, and they've been playing for 8 years, and finally after getting beat up on Friday night, they probably just hung it up, But, and then there's a couple teams in men's league that, I think one was an older league that didn't come and stuff, but we did pick up a Hayfield team that Spare Time Lanes from Hayfield came over here to play. Yeah. The Marino boys. So, yeah. Other than that, like I said before, the only thing that I feel like we could do at Red Cross lessons, we could go up from 40 to 45. I looked at some other communities, some are charging 40, some are charging 45. I think Owatonna's even up to 50, but there are also Owatonna's passes $6.50 or $7 a daily fee. And, but they got the lazy river too, and stuff, a little bit more, but when you look at all the things, what we've done last year and this year, if anything we could do now, is that gonna increase us a lot of money? Probably.
No, how many are you looking at in that?
Yeah.
100? Or
Yeah,
more?
when you look at the passes, the swim team, I don't know if she's got that on there. She doesn't. It's just the passes, but swim team, yeah, what is there, 30 kids in there? I mean, not swim team, but swimming lessons, we have quite a few on swimming lessons. about probably 300 kids in swimming lessons probably for the summer.
Wow.
So it increases $1,500 probably. Not even that, $150. Right?
Right.
$5.
Yeah, 3 times 5, yeah. You could.
$300,
make that up in
$5,
concession.
be $1,500.
1,500, that'd be 1,500, yeah. Yeah, it'd be 1,500, 30 would be,
Oh, yeah, good.
yeah. So that would be the increase.
How many private lessons did you have set up this year?
Don't
You
know,
did?
don't know. Sometimes I never even hear about that, that's all probably back in the files, whatever, with Josh, whatever and stuff. I do know that they did it, I do know for sure, because I got a couple calls and I referred them to Josh and he sets them up.
Cause
with
if you do
with
you do regular lessons up 5, you gotta boost the private lessons up too, 'cause, you know, there's a lot saying that private person like I would be that kid or adult that, doesn't wanna be seen with the other little kids that are swimming around me while I'm drowning.
Well, the private lessons
So you
usually,
pay that
whatever,
price.
are kids, like I said before, handicapped kids or kids that really, really struggle.
Yeah, and that's, you know, and to throw $5 on both those,
Okay,
you know, from 40 to 45 and 60 to 65 is probably definitely not out of line on that.
okay.
And I agree, you know, the passes you don't touch. For the daily fees, I should say, the daily passes, whether it's
Yeah.
individual or single pass or resident or not resident, I think you just leave that. The places to make up some of that, like says your concessions. You can add 50 cents per person on concessions very easily, and you take that number, that's a pretty big increase. That's
Mhm.
because a hot dog costs on a quarter, a piece of pizza costs on a quarter, a bottle of pop costs on a quarter.
Yeah, we talked a little bit on pizza last year there. What are you getting for a whole pizza?
This year was, we
Yeah,
can't
where
even,
did you
this,
go?
this year here, we can't even go by what happened this year.
Whatever did you
That's
do?
another increase of what happened for wages. We had to run to Owatonna, 2 guys, with our own ice cream freezer, and pick up pizzas, and pick
Oh.
up ice cream from Schwann's once or twice a week. So I took 2 guys to load the freezer up,
Yeah.
okay? We got a nice chest box freezer or whatever
Sure.
in our other shop, because we had no drivers, Schwann's did, in this area all summer.
Yeah, they did it.
Once, they may get through here once a month, but
Yeah.
they, whatever. So, we kept Schwann's, but we would drive over there, and then you put the 2 hours or 2 hours what it takes, you know, and that came in here too, because on their time sheets, they wrote down Aquatic Center. But they were working at the Aquatic Center, they didn't get the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't working in park maintenance or nothing, they were doing stuff for the Aquatic Center.
Well, those get to be pretty expensive pizzas.
They get expensive.
Yeah, they do.
They get
Well,
real
and that's
expensive.
and that's where, you know, so then you sell a piece of pizza or a slice of pizza or a whole pizza for the same price.
Well, I think you told us before you sell more whole pizzas than anything, don't you? Wasn't that the kind of the deal? I thought that,
Sometimes we do a lot of selling of them, maybe whole pizzas on softball night, more down on the field. But if we took a regular pizza and we divided it, remember we divided it in 6 pieces instead of 8 pieces, so you get a pretty good chunk of pizza, whatever, when you buy it for $2 a slice, I mean, you know. But, and I think we still make money on that, because the pizzas were only like, $5 or $5.50 to spend, and we're
Yeah.
making 6 pieces at $2, we're making $7 a pizza.
well, that's going right with it, what you had took in and what you spent, you double your money there,
Mhm.
or just about.
Yep. So, but the biggest thing is that, now that they got a Schwann's guy back in town, this guy has been calling me and emailing me, and I haven't answered him.
Hmm.
Because I thought to myself, you know what, if I had a $10,000 account, which we have,
Mhm.
for ice cream and pizza, and you can't get anybody over here, shame on you.
So then you better answer him, because
You know, no, I'm not gonna answer it, because I'm gonna call Kemp's, and I'm gonna see what Kemp's is gonna do for us.
Isn't there still that Samsung Dairy or whatever it is?
Samsung?
It's Samsung, yeah.
I'm
But
not
they have
for sure on
pizza
that, but
too.
Kemp's do. I checked into
Okay.
that, Kemp's has got all of it. They
Pizza
can
too?
serve any kind, I don't know about the pizza.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
do know about the ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
we're getting, when we went over there, I seen the bills every time, it was $800, $900 every time in ice cream alone. That's what we would buy. Then they get 10% of that. So the guy over there in that office got 10% cut every time, so he'd make $89 or $90 for us to go over there and get it.
Hell of a deal.
Yeah, so he made $1,000 on himself.
I wouldn't have been putting fuel in my truck either.
No.
You're gonna come and pay me the same.
Yeah, you come get it, and I get money.
$1,000 commission, no wonder he wants to call me and say, when's your place open up again?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I was just very simply saying, here's the date, and I said, but we're not coming to get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
You know, very
bargain
simple.
with him, I'm gonna bargain with
You
him.
know, and you
And on
just-
top of it, when
you
we
can
went
still
and got
bargain
it,
with Kemp.
they charged us $1.75 for delivery fee.
Are you kidding me?
No, to take the pizzas out of their freezer and put it in our freezer.
Oh, I would go with a new
I
company.
would've short paid that pretty quick.
Didn't they just get bought out though by somebody?
Who's that,
Swan.
Swans, did they?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't know, but no, that would, oh,
It was so
An
frustrating
account
this
like
year,
that,
it was
I think-
unbelievable.
don't.
And we couldn't keep, kids love it. I
Well,
mean,
if you-
it
They
smells.
do.
If you did get something going with Kempton, I think you brought it up last year, I can't believe there isn't a fairly local pizza place. You tell them the size of pizza and what kind, approximately how many a month you need, that wouldn't have them froze up and ready for you.
Well, see, I think that's
They
what-
have to be froze no matter
Yeah.
what, they gotta have that,
I think Jimmy's.
And they gotta have people there to make
They have to
pizzas
have some
anyway,
sort of,
they
they have
can
to have
freeze
some
up
sort
so
of.
many every day, all
Jimmy
they do
told us
is
you gotta
keep
be
the
a
people
certain
busy.
staff, which means you have to be a certain
Yeah.
qualifier, which means you gotta go
Yep.
through the state.
I know, I
And
think
that's-
Quick Trip would be good.
So,
That's what, I was just telling them, Quick Trip could be,
They would do anything.
Right.
And they're so local and they give back to the community.
so, I remember we talked about this, I'm still gonna meet with
Yeah.
Julie, see what's gonna go on.
Cool.
well, me with
I got a
Julie,
lot of
me
stuff
with
to do
Kemps.
yet this winter with bargaining. Because, I mean, Schwann's, I'll tell you what, I mean, they're gonna have to bow down and kiss our feet
Yeah.
for what we went through.
Almost
And
more
I
than
don't mean
that,
to be
'cause that
mean,
ain't
and I
right.
think, oh, maybe they'll just say heck with it, but how can you take $10,000 in a
Mm.
2.5 month deal and just kinda not worry about it?
Yeah, no.
Are you kidding me?
Well, and then I mean,
Charge
you
them.
should have been getting a price reduction there.
Exactly, not a thing,
That wasn't even right,
no, not a thing.
when they were charging you delivery on it.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
Well, I'm gonna question that, so
Yeah.
it's like, you're not leaving,
I questioned the
Yeah.
$1.75, and he says, well, that's for my worker at the warehouse loading pizzas into your freezer. $1.75.
They need any help?
and I would've said, I'm not paying it because you're not delivering the pizzas to our place. We're
And
paying 2 hours to come get it, so
There you
that
go.
guy gets paid regardless, so it's not coming off my teeth, so.
Yeah, wow.
And I guarantee you're gonna put up a stink.
That's
He was
about
So,
right.
okay.
I agree, I think we should do separate stuff on pizza. I think the pizza at Schwann's, we're just gonna bag that idea with them. I wanna see what they're gonna do for us for ice cream
Mhm.
first, and because it is, people do love it. I mean, we sell it, it goes. I mean, it
And
goes.
everybody likes fun.
Well, do yourself a favor, Ron, and just kinda get a figure out of Kemp's on the ice cream,
Yeah.
then you got something in your back pocket.
Right, because when we went up to Urban's and got ice cream sandwiches when we ran out and some of these other things, kids ate them too, they didn't care. As long as they had ice cream.
kind it is.
Yeah.
Well, and Kemp's being, close, and they got, I don't see there's no reason why they can't serve the community, especially if they know they're gonna go up and try to take competition away from the Swans.
Right.
They're gonna come in pretty sharp. I can guarantee you, if you tell them, we've had Swans from 2014,
Right,
and they say, why don't we have Kemp's? Who do I contact? Well, that's why I'm here. It's like, well, we'll take care of you.
right.
But put them both on the table,
Okay.
bring it back to the,
Yep,
give us an
let you
idea.
guys know. Sounds good.
But I think, I think you can make money in food, or more money in food, that's gonna, add another $5,000 to that bottom line. I guarantee it. By just adding a quarter or 50 cents to some things.
Yeah, I think that you should be getting more than doubling your money on the
Yeah.
concessions.
Yep.
I mean, I think anybody else does.
Well, and it's, where do you go to get something, and the kids they're gonna eat, they're gonna know mom's gonna spend extra money, it's like, well,
Gonna spend about
mom, this
5
time
to
I was
10
short,
bucks.
well, then I'm gonna spend a couple more dollars with you, or $5 more with you.
Well, that brings up a good question, what are the other pools charging for their food?
For concessions?
Yeah, for their concessions.
Well,
Any idea, or?
when you look at out to the school, or what they charge for their events, we're right with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cheap, I mean, it's, but people buy it, you know, they don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
question.
No, no.
It's,
No, you get a slice of pizza out to the school, it's $2.
yeah,
At a
Yeah.
football
I
game,
mean,
it's $2.
don't
there's
sell
some
ourselves short
safety
on
to do
thinking
that.
we gotta be reasonably priced, we are, it's a convenience thing.
but you don't wanna have people starting to,
Well, you don't
Back
increase the
there.
pizza by $1, you don't make it by
Right.
$3. But,
right,
Well, like I say, we'll take a look, me and Nancy will look at everything that we have on our menu, and we'll decide, you know, what we may need. If we add a quarter to the pizzas at $2.25, well, then that's what we try. But what we tried to do is we tried to make it as easy as we can for our workers, the change is simple.
yes,
And I don't mean to be that way, but it is simple.
but it is too for a parent, you know, when
Right.
you send your kid out, less change coming back to them.
Yeah. Well, what happens, what people do is that they send in, we have the system where they can send in a $50 bill to the concession, and then the kid's got that account. They can spend $50.
Nice.
So they bring in $50, they put it to their account, their card, they know exactly how much their kids have paid, whatever. So when Nancy gets done, like I just got a thing from her, she said, I just wanted to let you know, she had a list of some of the people that we still owe. Some of them are 1 cent, some of them are 5 cents,
Sure.
some of them whatever. But I don't know how it ends up being 1 cent and 5 cents, but that's basically what the computer kicks out, whatever and that stuff, but that's what we have done.
That's excellent.
You know, so the kids
That's
ain't bringing
so
cash all the
convenient.
time up to the building, they got an account, so when they punch in their account number, they can see how much money they have left.
Right?
and they
So
should
if
have
they
money.
order it, well, you take the drink back.
Well, or they
Yeah.
say, oh, I got more money, well, then can I have another piece of pizza?
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
That's, to have an open
Yeah.
account, like a credit
Mhm.
card, you
Just like
you
the
don't know
lunch
until it's
account
gone.
at school.
Yeah, it works out real well, our software program
That's
allows
nice.
us to do that, so it's kinda nice.
Okay.
Okay. So, let's see, we probably better have a motion and a
motion, yeah.
second, to do the fees.
So, make a motion to change the Red Cross lesson from $40 to $45 a participant, and then a private lesson from $60 to $65 a participant. Do I have a motion for that?
Do we have any other ones that we wanna increase? We can do them all in one shot, if that's the case.
That's true. I don't think we were gonna change anything else really, were we?
Did the water fitness program work out okay? You know, if there was any,
As far as like this, the company that comes in and done it,
yeah,
no problem, they give us the $25 check and we have no problem. There was days though that I did see there was only like 3 people there, then one day there might be 6. I think, you know, I didn't really see more than 6 people at a time, but they still pay the 25 and they use it and
Mhm.
they're there for 45 minutes and they go. Yep.
I would think the rentals are fine.
I was just gonna look at that, how many did we have?
They had, facility rental went from very first year 24 to 29 to 43 to 23 to 25, so,
Mm-hmm.
or to, 2,500.
Not bad.
So you're, based on last year, you're just a little above it. I don't know why 2016 was so high, but, I don't think that's gonna, you don't wanna drive your rental up to where you're gonna drive somebody away from not doing a $50
Right.
rental. Or a $350 rental, if that's the case, so.
I think 16, wasn't it, like, a lot less than 50 or something like that? I don't know, I think 2006.
For the rental?
Wondering, I think the rental was a
2016, we
lot.
had 4,300 and.
Yeah, I think it was a
in
lot less or
facility
something like
rental.
that, yeah, I don't know, but.
Yeah, that number there
But
is
yeah,
only,
I
that
agree.
number increases or decreases just for the usage.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
ain't because I don't think of the money, it's just like who wants to rent it.
Right.
Right, but why 2016 was so high versus 2017, 2018 being at the $2,400, $2,500?
It's just because we do not.
Less
rental.
rental.
So, but were we
I think-
that much cheaper in 2016, or there's just that much
Probably,
demand?
I think we were last week.
You know, so that's a case where.
Thinking 150 or 2.
Yeah, I thought it was like, yeah.
Cause we really
I think it
jacked
was
them
200,
up.
and then we went to 150,
Uh-huh.
350 for the whole day.
Right.
For the morning, on
For
the
the morning,
Saturday and
yep.
Sundays.
So here's a case where
I
by
thought that
raising
was
our
too
fee, we
much.
lost money, by dropping our fee back down, you can get more rentals and get more income.
Right.
So, this might be something to look at, maybe we need to drop our rental fee.
For the Saturday and Sunday stuff in the morning. That's all the time we do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, from 350 to
And then
300.
and then they can say, well, that I can do, but 350 I can't.
Right. Yeah,
So
cause we made
so
a
it
drastic
was
jump.
actually, the deposit is applied to this fee, so $50 is applied to the 350, so it's actually 300. So what we probably wanna do is that if we cut 100 off of 350 and go to 250, that would probably, might give us more. So it's actually 200 to rent everything, and then the 50 for the deposit, so 250.
So 250, 50 up front and 200 to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea.
Might be something to try, especially in 2016, when you got, $4,400, and now you drop down to 25, it's,
And we didn't have very many.
it's a $1,900
rentals
swing,
on
so.
Yeah, cause it
I'll
was a
tell you
big
what,
jump
if a
when we
family,
jumped.
if a family's got a big family on a Saturday or
Ah.
Sunday, and they wanna go in the morning and rent it for $250, we might get more.
Well, yeah,
Well-
because you're gonna pay that to rent out Allegiant, or,
And that's the possibility, your concessions, even though they probably may bring their own in.
No, we don't allow that.
Okay, so
No matter
so you're
what.
gonna make up in some concessions, so get them in there to be hungry to spend the money in other sources, so. No, I like that idea, drop that down to 250 instead of 350.
What do you guys think?
Well, it's worth a try. At least we know we went the right way then,
Right.
you know, if you get more interest there.
Well, by going up, we obviously, it didn't work, and if we drop back down and it picks it up for 2019 and 2020, if that's the case, we'll know that,
this is good.
that's a good place to be.
Mhm.
Let's try.
So we'll go
What
from.
about you, Jason, what do you think?
I don't know, the last 2 years it stayed the same, or we made more this year, like you said, to rental, and,
It's all gonna depend on weather and
Right.
everything else too.
It's true.
And that's
A
true.
lot of it happens.
Even 2015, we're at 3,000, so, right now we're.
we don't have the numbers as far as
How many
15,
rentals?
16, what it was to rent
What
it.
it was.
Yeah.
Could have been more birthday parties that year. I mean, it's just.
I know, we
Yeah.
don't, and that's where you just don't have that, in
And
this
it
case,
was
the
newer,
visits or the
too.
rentals.
What's that?
It was
Right.
newer.
Right.
Yeah, it was newer.
I think it was 150, I know you'll have it in your record.
Our programs are all separated, so we know
Yeah.
who rented for the birthday parties, the little shelter
Yeah.
things, the picnic
Yeah.
tables, and then we know how much during the weekends.
Mhm.
We do know that, it's all separated.
Right.
We just need to get the report to do it.
Mhm.
So next time, I'll make a note, next time we go through the fee schedules, we need if we're gonna do things at the aquatic center, we need to look and see who's done what, who's rented what, and how many
Mhm.
people are in swim lessons and how many whatever, so I'll make a note of
So
that.
should we just table that one
Can't.
at this point?
Gotta have the fee schedule done.
Oh, well then,
No, I'd say.
Try it.
make a motion
Should
to
we
drop it
try
back
it?
down.
Let's try it.
I'll
Okay.
second that motion.
Okay.
Rentals
All right, all
on
in
Saturday.
favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Who seconded?
I did.
Okay, Doug.
The only other thing, I'm just had a question, and look at the insurance there, why it was, 15, that was about 2,300, we're back up above that now. It dropped down substantially, and then we're up a third since, 16.
Great question, Doug. That would have to be answered by Nancy. She takes care of all that. I have no idea what the insurance rates through CO Brown
Yeah.
are on our pool.
I don't understand it, it was 2,300
Should it not be the
15,
same?
and then dropped.
You would think.
Huh?
You would think.
From the day it opened,
Should,
and if there isn't any incidences, I can't see it going up,
yeah.
but.
Are they charging, why is CO
Well,
Brown
just said it went
charging?
up, and then dropped down, now.
Right.
And then it went up and
Yeah.
up.
Well,
It's just
sometimes,
odd.
800.
sometimes that's the carrier, it's like our building insurance, it goes up, it goes down. Some businesses will come in, or some carriers will come in and lowball a price to get you, and then the next year they jack it up and they're way out of the price, so you find somebody else. you know, we're doing the same thing at the store,
I will
so.
write this down.
I wonder
and
if
I will
it-
ask Nancy, and then I can maybe answer your question back in December or something. Sound good? Just a
Yeah,
reason
that'd be
why,
good. No, that'd be good to see.
why
I wonder if it
insurance
was something to do with the
fluctuates.
kitchen, the new appliances and all of that. I wonder if that had something to do with it, because there's more money in there. Who knows?
I will bring that back in December. That applies there. Okay? Okay, so rentals for Saturday and Sunday went from $350 to $250, correct?
Correct.
Writing these motions down for Jan, because
Oh, yeah.
that's what she wanted me to do, so just make sure everything's
Perfect.
all right.
Yep, and then you got the 40 to 45 and,
Yep, and
okay.
60 to 65, yep.
And that was it, yep.
Okay? Anything else?
I don't have anything, you guys got anything more? No?
What if
Alright.
somebody wants, I'm sorry, but what if somebody wants to come up and, you got that batting cage set up, if they wanna use that, is that just gonna be open to anybody?
Yeah, that'll be open. We
Okay.
won't have it dated or anything, that'll stay up in the spring almost all the way through until the
Okay.
fall and that stuff. Yep, yep.
That'll be nice,
Mm-hmm.
kinda like Madam Rose, just use it
Just
when you want.
use it when you want it, or whatever,
Oh.
that's a nice little handy thing in the park, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, down to a.
What do you guys think about the the shelter? Shelters.
The
We
new
got a
one.
new shelter now, remember?
The new
Picnic
one?
shelter.
Right.
And we rent out, now we'll have availability to rent out 4, because we do half and half at the big one.
Oh, yeah,
We do
yeah.
the full one, and now we got one at Lions Park.
Mhm.
And when we rent the shelters, is it still, what is the shelters yet? You guys, if I'm not mistaken, I still think they're $30. They went up, I think we went up, I don't see it on here.
Top, park pavilion rental, $30 block.
Where is it at?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the first thing on the
Very
sheet.
first thing on the sheet.
Oh,
Up on
Park
top.
Pavilion, that's $30, okay, block time designated shelter. And then we talked about this a little bit, I just wanted to bring this up because of the garbage. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We took care of the garbage problem of picking up garbages on Sunday morning because the guys that go in, Chris and Corey that go in to do the pool, whatever, for their hour, or their 2 hours to do the backwashing, they take care of the garbage in the shelters from Saturdays, which works out nice. They're there, they might as well empty them, they take it down there, you know. Garbage is not cheap to get rid of, you know,
Right.
and not saying that, you know, it is what it is, but do you guys believe $30 is still sufficient
Enough.
enough
Is
for
it
the
too much to
rentals?
ask everybody to just take their own garbage out?
You don't wanna
Well,
have that.
Well, then you wouldn't have a liner in it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people,
We did get new lids, which is really nice now for us because it keeps the water out, which is really great. So getting the garbage out this year was really nice, so we didn't have to deal with all that water and stink problem, which was great. But I just wanted to bring that up, just knowing that, you know, there could be more money coming in Park Pavilion rental with the one down the Lions Park possibly down the road.
Right.
But now we got 4 areas where we could rent. We're gonna add that down to the Lions Park. So we don't have to do anything, 'cause I think we increased it from 25 to 30 here, 3 years ago maybe,
Yeah,
3 or 4 years ago. I'd have to go back and I can look at that. That'd be another thing I think we should look at. I'll let you guys know, the Park Pavilion rentals.
No, that's for a first half a day and second half a day, correct?
Correct, 2 times that. That's the big shelter, yep, and even at the other one, on all the shelters.
Could be from, you know, up until 3 o'clock.
If they wanna rent that one to the west down there at North Park, if they wanna pay $60 for the whole day, they got it. We allow that.
Okay, well, here's my thought, and I'm in rental, I got rental equipment, somebody could rent a sod cutter or a stump grinder, and they're paying $45 to $50 for 2 hours. And sometimes they're not batting an eye, cause they have a project, they wanna get it done. I look at this the same way for this picnic shelter. You have a reunion or a birthday party, $30 is really darn cheap. $60 is probably for an entire day from 8 in the morning till the sun sets. You know, you could probably get a little bit more for that, but you're saving that whole thing, so we should be able to get more on that, and here's my point. If you take the $30 block and change it to a $40 block, but you put a note in there that includes rubbish removal on the city's part, but it has to be bagged and left there, or it has to be bagged, or put in the garbage cans. So there you can get $10 for a half a day, and you can do $75 for a full day, which includes rubbish removal as long as, you know, the rubbish is bagged or left there or put in the thing, so. To get a $40 rental, knowing that as long as we bag our stuff, and most people, if they know that, you know, we don't have a place to get rid of it, because that fee includes it, that's a perk. Even if they rented it for $30 this year, well, $40, yeah, but this is where now we'll take care of the garbage. We did before, well, we really weren't supposed to, you were supposed to take your own out. Oh, I guess I didn't know that. So now they're gonna say, that's still cheap for $40 for, from sunrise to 3 in the afternoon, or from 3 in the afternoon till sunset.
I'm just kinda looking at it as, okay, so I'm gonna rent this, what exactly am I getting for my $40 other than the garbage rental? I mean, the garbage takeout. Electricity.
Water, cause there's water spigots at the
that one.
west one, but that's, you choose one with water, one without. Do you want next to the playground, or do you want one by the gazebo?
Well, I can go down there, and if nobody's there, I can use it anyways, correct? If we start,
Every weekend is full.
Yeah.
You could, but if it's
What's the
posted.
total, I mean, we don't have,
Jan has all that, but
yeah.
people, they're already got 3/4 are already full for next year.
Well, it'd be hard to change them then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we should change it for
This year.
2020.
But we can change it for going forward.
What about, I mean, we're not apples to apples either. We got a big shelter, should they be the same price? Or would you be encouraging people to take the one down, you know, Lions instead of one of them, and make it more attractive that way?
I think that's what Rochester does. They don't charge all their shelters the same.
Yeah.
They have different shelters.
I mean, that might make it more appealing. You could rent both of them. You know, someone would take that one before they would because it was $10 cheaper. You know, you don't know. But it's just something to think about.
Right.
You get that one in the.
It goes to show the amenities around it.
Yeah.
You know, at least
Well,
the one on the east.
That's gonna be your problem over here versus North Park. You got a small playground, and if you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it should be less expensive, you're saying?
That, and you're not gonna wanna rent that one when you can go to North Park and have the volleyball. I mean, you have the basketball, you have.
You got it all.
Yeah.
Well, at this
Once
point,
we
you
get our
don't rent
amenities
this
in
one.
that
Money
park.
wise, though.
Correct.
Money-wise.
Yeah, right now you don't rent that one out. That's just, if they say, well, where do I go? There's
Right.
a free
I mean, it's gonna-
welcome.
it's
We
there.
got this one for 30, we got this one for 40.
Right,
We
it's
got
there.
this one for 50.
And once we
You
get,
know.
like you said, the basketball court,
It's
the
just not
tennis
the one
court,
that everybody's gonna,
volleyball court.
you're not gonna get somebody to rent that one versus the west one.
Did we get cement poured in this one, Dan?
No.
I didn't see it last
That's
time I
coming
looked.
up, yeah.
I didn't look today.
So, I think you could get more, knowing that we're still taking care of rubbish. And,
How about if we just put it down that we think about it, since we do, I do know that Jan has been taking
Yeah.
reservations for this coming year already.
Yeah, you
So
can't
that
pop them
people
after they've
call.
already.
No.
no, and they're.
Oh, I'm sorry, but.
And they're grandfathered in.
They're grandfathered in.
Because you reserved it for next year rate, so that was the rate at that time.
Yeah.
Now for anything going forward,
Yeah.
once it's passed, well, here's the new rate for 2018. If somebody says, well, they booked it, well, they booked it last year when the rate was set. They booked it early, so if you wanna do it this year and book it for the following year, let us know before the rates go up or not go up.
Well, you get 2 hours of aerator time with it.
Sod cutter. Sod cutter, I mean, take the sod with it next, you know, it's like, oh, we got dirt?
Popcorn maker. Oh,
But-
I think
goodness.
it's something to really think about and to consider, like you're saying, because, I mean,
Yeah, 'Cause people rent them and.
People rent them because number one, you're underneath the shelter.
Mhm.
That's the key. You know, I mean, you're not out in the sun, you're there by the playground modular, you're by the aquatic center, by the pool, you're
not
They're a
there.
big plus
Well,
wherever they're at, I mean,
remember,
that just adds
you're
a
not
lot
in
to
your
that park.
backyard, you're not in your garage, you got all your family coming over, you got space for everyone in the park.
Yeah.
It's like me renting a bounce house for $135, and they say, well, how can that be, because Rochester's $250. I get $135, it's like, well, that's pretty cheap for a kid's party.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, you gotta buy a lot of cake for $135, but,
Yeah.
but it's
And we
the
gotta
perception of
we gotta
rentals.
remember too, that we have a major draw, and that's the aquatic center. And that's why people wanna come on Saturdays and Sundays and picnic, and then they have a thing, and then they go to the aquatic center.
Mhm.
So another reason to get your, move the rate up. You're not gonna get rich doing it, but you know what? You gotta make money where you can.
Squeeze on that bottom line there a little bit.
Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
I don't know, my opinion is we propose it for 2020 and leave things for 19, but that's my opinion.
If we wait till
That's
next year, this
people.
time, you're gonna have the bookings that are locked in already, and you're gonna have the same problem.
But
But
right,
as she's taken the reservations, she can say, it's.
It will be
we
going
can
up.
already say, okay, for 2020, it's gonna go up $10
Yes.
bucks, so
Yep.
for
Yeah.
2019, I'm with you, Liza, I'd leave it alone, but as of when you start taking reservations
for
for
2020.
2020, I say, well, this is what the new rent's gonna be now, so,
Yeah.
that's what I,
Is everybody in favor of that then?
You going straight with the same price on all of them, or
Well,
what were
that's
we
the thing,
thinking?
what, I think our big price increase would be at the North Park. I think $40, like Greg said, is good at the North Park,
For the north, yes,
at the North Park, both shelters.
both shelters, and then what if you
If
want
we
the
do
whole one,
anything-
it's 80 or?
If you want the whole day, then it would be $80, you know,
Okay.
of course, you know, whatever. But the one down at Lyons, the new one that's gonna get done next spring, maybe we just set a precedence and just put $20 down there.
I would actually not rent it at all.
Not rent it, leave it.
Until,
first come,
until
first
you,
served.
So you
until
got
you
stuff
get
up there.
other things in there to get
Okay.
more draw, people
Yeah.
say, now I have equal choice, and I think it's fair for playgrounds and kids to do. Right now, it's just if somebody says, well, how do I not rent one? There's one down here in Lions Park, if you wanna
Yeah.
And
chance
like,
it.
Jason, you made a good point with that, there's nothing there right now.
Oh.
You're right, Greg.
So
yeah.
don't start-
Except for the Frisbee golf course.
Right.
But that's
But
not
you're-
gonna help a little kid's birthday party, that's
Right.
5-year-old or something like that, they're not gonna be running around the creek,
The skate park's there.
so,
Come
they're
on.
not gonna be
It
on the
does have
skates
its
either.
draws, I mean, it's
It
got its
does.
own
But
things.
I would just leave that one alone until,
Yep.
3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever we get other stuff down there.
I ain't gonna hurt nothing to have it at 20, if they're in it, they're in it, if they're gonna use it, they're gonna use it regardless. I mean,
If they cost something to reserve it, that way they know they have it.
Exactly. It's theirs.
Good chance it's gonna be empty, that's a chance you take if you wanna reserve something, that's a pretty small price to pay to guarantee yourself a
20 bucks,
shelter.
yeah.
Hmm.
So should we put 20 bucks
Yeah,
on the
why
one
not?
down in Lyons then?
Why not?
Okay,
It's
And
the
we have
reservation
that
you're
in-
paying for, you know.
yeah, and have that in effect for 2019, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
2019.
Okay.
Lions would be $20.
20 and 40?
And then
40.
40 for the west, and the other one, so veterans.
The lines would be 20 for the first half day and 40 for a full day.
Yep. And then 2020, Veterans Park would be 40 and 80, right?
Yep. 40 for half.
And,
80
to
for
Jen,
both.
and let them know, that also includes rubbish, but the rubbish has to be bagged and set there,
Yeah,
so.
she's got a little slip there that she gets and hands out when people, rent it, so they see the rules, kind of whatever that we do, so we'll make sure that they have that on there. But I'll let Jan know that when people are renting yet for this year, 2019 coming in, and it gets full, that if you wanna reserve it for next year,
Yep.
it's gonna go up.
Mhm.
Ten
It's gonna go up
bucks.
$10, so it's gonna be $40.
Yep,
Okay?
yep, definitely.
Electricity, water.
Well, like I said, what do you
All
get?
adds up.
First of all, what do you get? Just electricity alone and plug in a crock pot.
Mhm.
That's a perk.
Yeah.
'Cause you can go to a lot of places that has picnic table.
That
and
don't
there's-
have electric.
You can't plug into a tree.
No.
You know, so right there is just.
Hey,
just
generator
nice.
rentals. You're
Hey,
in.
hey,
We rent
there
them.
you go.
Yep.
$20.
Are you at a picnic shelter? Oh, that's 35 then.
Oh, goodness.
But, you know, there's the perception of rental that they have no there's, you know, the value to have your spot to yourself, you're willing to pay more for it to have that spot, and to have that, so.
Yeah,
Don't,
You're gonna have
so
a
my point is,
party.
don't count ourselves short at these numbers, because, just because we did have it at 30, or did have it at 20, or whatever it may be, you know.
Well, yeah, I don't think we need to get too crazy as far as jacking the prices every year, but I do see a small increase every year, just like everything else goes up. It's got to.
Like
I mean,
Ross says, somebody's got all the garbage away, right?
$5 a bag
Yeah,
down at
and their wages
the county
go
to
up.
get rid of garbage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's, I had somebody call me, what's for the hometown haulers, what it is for a pack of 10, I says about $45, and that's for 10 bags.
I just take mine down the line, I mean.
I didn't hear that.
No, you got around it looking.
I'm waiting for the new bridge down there, so.
But you're right, it's $5 a bag to take a bag of garbage somewhere, so there's
Right.
another perception. But
Yeah.
as long as it's bagged, now if it's strewn all over, I'm not sure if she takes a deposit, that's refundable, but if it's strewn all over, who's to say somebody didn't come behind and trash it, but.
I think it's good. Anything else on this?
I
I
don't
think
think
we're
so.
okay then. Sound good? And Liza, you made the motion, Doug, you second, correct?
Yes,
All in favor for all that?
yep. Say aye. Yes, and
Aye.
opposed?
Yeah, no.
All right, so carried.
Good. Okay.
All right, adult basketball league.
Adult Basketball League, we'll sponsor again on Sunday evenings again, out to the high school. The league will start January 6th on a Sunday evening, 2019. Rumor has it, it's gotten back to me that Arnold will not be the supervisor this year again. He's done it for 4 or 5 years and he's gonna move on, so I'm looking for a supervisor to run it. I might have a gentleman, his name is, Bob Fellows, whatever, possibly might run it for me. I will find out more on that, but if he doesn't and I can't find someone before the season starts and I can't find him, we won't have the league. I gotta have someone out there at all times, and I can put a little ad in the paper here, comes December 1st, if I can't find somebody, and run it over there in that, what do you call it, the trade? That
Oh, trading post.
The trading post or
Yeah.
something, and see what we can come up with if someone would be wanting to do it, 'cause I think we pay $40 or $45 a night to do it.
Mhm.
So, we'll see what we can come up with. I
was
just wanna
wondering
let
if-
everybody know.
Could you let, I don't know, would that be something Mark from Duco would, ask his coaches and stuff like that, and all of the
No,
days?
it's on a Sunday night late, from 5:30 to 8:30, they gotta be there no matter what.
Yeah, I suppose they don't wanna be there on a Sunday.
Players that play are usually the ones that wanna do it,
Oh,
because
okay.
they're there.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's a bunch of
Well, as long
days
as
that,
the person that's there now doing it puts it out, 'cause he's got contacts for teams and people, it's like, you know, if somebody doesn't step up.
Yeah, I mean, it's already out there, I
Yeah.
already told, like, Nick and Joe Fitch, whatever, they know.
They'll get,
yeah, they've got.
they're gossipers, they'll get the word around.
Yep, okay.
All
Okay.
right, terms to expire.
Greg and Roger, what do you think, Greg?
You can't end a good thing, Greg.
I don't know, he's slowly been decreasing his role on the board, I don't.
I know.
Are you saying I'm talking less?
No, I didn't say that.
I will go for another term, I don't
Awesome.
mind.
Okay, so that's the 3-year term, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're 3-year term.
So that would put you out through 2021,
Yeah.
okay? And how many years would that be totaling? Close to 25, wouldn't it?
Yep,
Wow.
Close to 25.
that would be.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, you
And
bring him
Roger,
onto the
he was
board.
gone, he called me, and I think he
Is he gonna
thought
hang
that
in there?
he was gonna do it, I think, for sure, yep. So,
He would-
I will contact him for sure to let you know, but as far as the talk was with me here about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he thinks he was gonna do it again, so.
I think he will too, I talked
Yeah.
to him a little bit.
Yep,
Awesome.
So, okay?
All right. So old business Lions Park picnic shelter that you're talking about, the improvements.
And before we go on there, Doug, I know the elections didn't turn out your way, but thank you for what you've done this year. For the last
Oh,
couple of years
yeah.
you've been on the board with us, you gave a lot of good info, you've given us info, you brought info back to the council. You've been a good asset, I think. to the
Yes,
council.
absolutely.
Very much
Absolutely.
so, and thank you
Yeah.
for being on the park board, I really appreciate it, but you did, you brought a lot of things
Oh,
back to
a
us
lot.
and made suggestions and made me think of a lot of different things, which was good, and it always helps.
Mhm.
It always helps, to have a good council person that are here that can relay back to the council. And remember, there's been a few years, Greg, when you were on, that didn't happen.
And there's been some liaisons that I prefer weren't here.
Right.
But we've also talked about, and thank you as well for myself, you had my vote, we always talk about maybe increasing this board by one person.
And like I say, we.
You are involved in this, right?
This is where all the past council members come to die.
Retirement center.
I just personally want to thank you, Doug, for what
Yeah,
you've
thank
done.
you,
You're
Doug.
welcome.
Yeah, you've done-
Absolutely.
I had a very good time on both boards. I was on the library board when they built that too, and
Mhm.
I thought I had a lot of good conversation there.
No, you have no problem striking up a conversation and letting us know and give us
Yep.
insight.
And
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we
Obviously,
need.
that's what we need, and coming from a council
Yep.
too, it's, to take it back is
Yeah.
also just as important, so.
Chuck, you were in that same spot
Chuck,
too.
you did well.
You brought things back to the council when you were on here as the liaison, you know, I mean, you did, and that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
it really
when-
truly does.
It's when it doesn't get back, where you get, just read the
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah,
And that's when we're just shooting ourselves in the foot for showing up, and that's when you get, why sometimes back in the day,
right.
we got 3 people here and say, well, I guess
That's why
we're
people
gonna
didn't
skip
wanna
it
show
again,
up
because
again.
our opinions didn't matter, and by conversation, it's, you know, we can understand more, so, but yeah, Doug, thank you
Yep.
very much, so.
So,
Now, about this other board, this other position of to get
I don't
one more
know.
person,
We'll have to look at that, whatever.
would you be interested if it was opened up?
I'll think
Well,
about it, see
you're
what
on
you
the
come
spot.
up with there, but
Sounds good.
I'm ready for a break for a little bit.
Yeah.
That sounds good. No
Well, so,
problem.
you know, Chuck broke too for a little while.
Yep. Chuck wanted to get back
And then he
on,
got
so-
fixed, and he came back on.
It's a nicer board, I mean, it's not so.
Less pressure,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's nice being, it was not, don't get me wrong, it's nice on council, I mean, helping out in every area, you know.
Mhm.
I don't think people
But this is
realize
like-
how much time you can put in being a council member.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
look
Right.
into things and do your
Oh,
homework.
I think
you
I
can
could
spend
do
a lot
it
of
while I'll
time.
never
A
be
lot of
one,
time.
so.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
Yeah,
But
it was
it's
a lot
nice.
different than I thought.
Mhm.
It's a once a month, couple hours, still being in the know, helping out, still meeting people. And when I was doing the election judge, I was greeting everybody at the door, you know, showing them their map and everything. It's like, it was kind of amazing how many people I remembered and how many people remembered me and how many times I went, I should know you.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was neat, so it's quite the experience when you're a councilman,
Mhm.
you
It
just
is.
see everything, but.
So thank you, both of you guys,
Yes.
appreciate it. Okay, last one, old business, like Liza, you said, Lions Park Shelter, Doug questioned about the cement. I called Sheldon today, he's not gonna pour it, just gets too cold. If he would've got it in the window here about a week ago, he said he was just finishing that big job over in Byron, it was a big pad, 20-some by close to 80-foot pad, and he was battling the elements there. He had to go out and buy more blankets and stuff, and he was really worried about the flaking, you know, being cold and stuff, whatever and stuff. So he decided last week that he shut his Stone by Stone down. He said, I'll just wait until next spring and start the projects. He said he had probably about 4 different projects that he didn't get to that was on his list, and one of them was the shelter. We had it all formed, he put the rebar in there,
So he's doing it next year for the same price?
same price. everything's
Okay.
locked
Because,
in.
you know, next year concrete's gonna be more.
Yep, no, and then I talked to Nancy, our finance, and that money still will be there. They'll carry it over or put it into that project, whatever, so we still should be fine. A&A wanted to do the electric once the cement gets done. They don't wanna do the electric, any of that before the cement is done, 'cause that's their norm, they said. Number one, they got some conduit that's gonna be running up some poles, and not that, I don't think the cement interferes with it, but going to the main service and stuff and getting that 90 degree up there through they just wanted to do it. So, I talked to Bob there at A&A and Sheldon, and they'll get to it right away in the spring, okay? And then that way we can do our dirt work and we can seed it and, have everything ready to go. So, just to let you know, that's the line park.
Any
update.
info on the solar portion
No,
of it?
no, not yet. Teresa has not gotten back to me as far as what's all happening on the solar part of it yet, but that's, we should find out whatever. The last thing I knew, the price of the solar was around 9,000.
It was, yeah, it was like it went up like 10,000 or
Oh,
something
man,
like
what's
that.
10,000? We'd have to pay the money up front and then we get reimbursed by next year,
Right,
is it?
and she was gonna find out if they're willing to take the increase.
To take the increase, right.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, so,
Well, she hasn't heard
I
anything
haven't
about
heard
it.
anything from her. That might be, maybe a phone call or a question or something on
I
that.
can check with her tomorrow.
Okay,
I'll
'cause I
just
know
drop
you
her.
work with the green, the green step, right?
Yep.
Yep, so, but,
All right, and I got a Lions meeting next Monday, so.
yeah, then
And
report to them.
I know just enough of that solar got out that I was asked a few times if, are they putting a solar farm in down there?
No.
No, just enough to take care of the park.
Yeah.
But you know how things get going.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
they do,
yeah.
they do.
It's all the hydro electricity would have gone through the creek there.
Yeah,
Oh.
When it rains a lot, we'll have power.
Yep.
So Ron, would it be like early spring or whenever?
Yeah, once we
Sheldon's
get
kinda
it-
looking at like, okay, this could be my first project of the
I'm
year.
sure it will be,
I
'cause
know.
you'll know-
This spring was
Weather.
horrible compared to last spring. I mean, as far as, we were still pouring concrete at beginning of December, late December last year versus this year. I mean,
Okay.
you can
Yeah.
say first, you know,
Yeah. He went down
you're
there, you
talking
know, when we
March,
had the grab.
maybe April, yeah.
Yeah. You know, he said like one day, you know, that was froze solid down there that day when he come to check it. He would check on it, you know, he'd call me and tell me he checked on it, said it was still frozen. And then one day it kinda warmed up, it went down about 2 inches, but then he got into frost again.
Problem is, once you put the shelter up,
Yeah, once again, and there's no sun to it,
yeah.
so,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
okay.
Right?
Other than that, I don't have anything. Anybody have anything else?
Anybody? Greg?
Next
I
meeting.
talk too much.
Next
All
meeting
right.
will be December
20th, or wait,
18th.
18th, yep, December 18th.
And then remember, a little note that Jan, you guys seen it?
Yeah,
that the
we
next
changing the date?
January, I won't be around on that third Tuesday. I'll be up to that turf conference up there in the cities. So we'll have to figure next month, maybe we'll throw some dates out there or something, that might work,
Yeah.
okay? So, other than that,
All right, motion to
All right.
adjourn,
I'll make a motion.
second.
Second.
All in
Go ahead,
favor,
Greg.
God,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, meeting adjourned. Oh, boy.
See you out with the lighting then? Maybe, some of ya.
Lucky to meet, I drove all the way back from Knoxville yesterday, I got home about 5:15, so. Just 4 hour drive, I get here.
Yeah.
there we go.
Well,
Sounds
thanks for not
good.
falling asleep.
Right.